Hey everybody, it's Brandon again. You might have seen over the last week here, there's been a lot of news about the rumor that ChromeOS is turning into Android basically, or Android's going to be taking over ChromeOS. So I was just going to kind of give my thoughts on it. Because I was looking at this Android Authority article this morning, and by the way, I like Android Authority, but look how ridiculous it is with the ads. Have you ever seen so many ads on a website? Well, unfortunately, you probably have. But that's not what we're talking about here today. This article is basically rest in peace ChromeOS, because here's all the bad Android things that are going to be happening. And it's possible. This is Google. Maybe it will be bad for ChromeOS. Here's what I'm thinking it's going to look like and how I'm hoping it's going to look like. I'm hoping the switch is kind of just the underside of Android, like the kernel coming to ChromeOS and them updating that to be able to run the current ChromeOS UI that we're all accustomed to. If that's basically all they're doing, I don't think it's really going to be that much of a big deal like all the sites are making things out to be. If they try to do a whole new desktop interface based on Android, anybody who's ever plugged a keyboard and mouse into Android as it is right now knows that that experience sucks. And even things like Samsung DeX, which are good, are not as good as a desktop experience as Chrome OS is. But if they can keep the entire Chrome OS interface that we are used to and just have Android underneath, then I actually think it's going to be a good thing. First of all, I'm recording this on a Chromebook Plus. It's a Lenovo one, and even on this device, which has decent specs for a Chromebook, I had to turn off the Android subsystem on this thing because it just takes up a lot of memory. I think it makes the whole thing slow. It slows the whole thing down, and I really didn't use the Android that much. Now, if the entire thing is Android based underneath, theoretically, you wouldn't have to have a separate containerized system to run Android on these Chromebooks, and maybe the whole thing will just be a whole lot better. And that may also mean if they keep ChromeOS Flex, it would probably have Android support built in. I don't see why it wouldn't. But here's some concerns these guys bring up. The monthly updates, would that die? No, that's a good question. Maybe. It's possible you could update the Chrome OS, I'll call it desktop environment, separate from the base Android system and still get monthly updates like that. But maybe you wouldn't anymore. Who knows? That'd be a good question to have answered. Here he says Chrome extensions. See, in my theory, if they keep the Chrome OS interface and you still have your Chrome desktop browser, this wouldn't be a big deal. I think extensions and everything would still work as it is. However, if they completely ditch all of this and go to something that's totally Android interface based, then that also would be a concern that I would have too. And he talks about the file manager. Yeah, I've complained about the file manager a lot of times on this channel here, but it is still better than anything that you have on Android. And so you would want to see this new Chrome OS, or whatever they call it, actually have decent desktop grade file management. If everything was totally super locked down the way Android currently is, that's also going to be a problem. I don't know if that's going to fly. So we'll have to see about that. And little goodies, all the apps on Chrome OS are web apps. If this new thing can still run the web apps and pin them like desktop apps as Chrome OS currently can, then that'll be alright. PWAs work better on Chrome OS than they do on Android. But if they can get it to where nothing changes in that regard, it won't be a big deal. So anyway, I'd be interested to know what you guys think about this, because there's been a lot of news in the Chrome OS space about it recently. To me, it could go either way. If they're really just replacing the see, I've heard Chrome OS is based on Gentoo originally. I don't know if it still is, but if they just switch that out and have it based on Android underneath, but everything that we see and interact with is the same and you don't notice a difference, to me it won't be a big deal. It might actually be an improvement, especially if they keep Chrome OS Flex and have it on a system like that. On the other hand, if they try to have one consistent UI between your phone and your tablet and your desktop, and it's all based on what Android currently is, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in it. So to me, it could go either way. It could be great, it could suck, it could be somewhere in the middle. Be interested to know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is the end of Chrome OS? Do you guys think they'll keep supporting something like Flex? I hope they do, but interesting times. Really, Google should come out and tell everybody what their plans are so we know, but that's not going to happen. Maybe in a few months we'll figure out for sure. Right now it's all just rumors, but it looks like things are going that way. I have seen they are starting to port the Terminal app onto Android phones, which will allow running the Linux containers on Android. So we'll see. Interested to know what you guys think. That's what I think. Too early to tell right now. Too early to panic, but who knows? Until next time, I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye now.